Basically, the Uglii spatial marketplace system allows a business to define a catchment into which it wants to market into. And that catchment can be as local or as far away as it wants. It can be as big or small as it wants. It's totally up to the business and the business needs, marketing needs, and where it can supply its products and services into. So that gives all businesses on the planet the flexibility of defining very precisely where they want to market to and leaving the rest of the planet alone. So the system becomes very economical because it's very, very precise. And the other processes of the Uglii system are also very precise. The ability to define products and services very accurately in the Uglii system means that I can market my products and services with great precision geographically and by the definition of that product or service. It also allows for qualifications of those offers. In other words, I may be able to facilitate doing business by various credit card systems or payment processes, and I might be able to do that, qualify that by other things such as letters of credit through banks and so on. So that means that when a request for an offer for a product or service comes up in the catchment that I've defined for my business, the system will make an offer on behalf of my business to that business requiring that offer. It's as simple as that.
Robert, how does this facilitate a small business versus a large business? What difference does the system have for large or small businesses? I know Uglii go by every business, every country, so is there favouritism for big business or?
No, there's no favouritism at all. We've got functions in there that big business can use, and but the system is identical for small businesses or large business. In terms of governments using the system, they can insist that any potential suppliers must register in the system. They can also use the facility that will publish their requests, so that a supplier can see the history of requests and the current requests. For a small business, they might want to make requests, but the system keeps them anonymous so that they can feel free, test the market. They're not going to be bombarded with people knowing who's requested this. They're anonymous. All the suppliers know about them is that they fall within their catchment. The rest of it stays anonymous. So that's a very very important thing for small businesses to be able to know they can use the system without being exposed onto a marketing list somewhere.
Look, I think the important point is that the system treats a business or a place of business the same, regardless of whether it's owned by a big business or a small business. Okay, so that's the distinguishing feature of the system. If I've got a branch of my big business, then it behaves like a small business in a local catchment, in a local area. So it's very much the same facility. One of the things that we don't quite understand about the system is what effect it will have on marketing generally. We were talking before about a qualified lead for $1 or 60 cents or 40 cents or whatever the price may be. That's a bargain, okay, and that's never happened in history before that you could get that sort of marketing bargain. So we think that businesses generally will be able to reduce their expenditure on marketing, but also we expect a lot of small businesses that don't have a budget to market, to compete, will come into the marketplace to compete because now they can. They've got a tool that they can afford. I think of all of the businesses that I've owned over the years, and I can't think of any time in my life as a business owner that I've really felt that I've had enough money to do the marketing that I wanted to do. But the Uglii system caters for that. It gives me the ability to market and to compete on my merits of my business, and I think that's what's so powerful about the system. So I think we'll see some structural changes in all economies about how the system is going to affect marketing. But the big change, I think, is going to be that businesses in all economies who have never bothered to export or tried to export will have the ability to try and compete to export in other economies. It's only going to cost them $1. I always use the example of a presentation we did in Brussels recently, or a year or so ago, where an economist from Zambia basically said to us, look, we grow the most fantastic mangoes in Zambia. They rot on the ground because we don't have the resources to market them. But with the Uglii system, we can spend $1. So when somebody requests a container load of mangoes in Chicago or New York, we can compete to supply our excellent mangoes into those markets. So from a business point of view and a marketing point of view, that's transformed our ability to compete to market our produce into the economy. So from a business point of view that's never dreamt of marketing outside its boundaries, this thing is profoundly important. It's profoundly powerful. It's an enormous opportunity, and I think governments are going to have to adjust to those changes. We're going to be in a much more competitive and enthusiastic world for marketing with this system. It's profoundly different to anything. The cost is $1 in the developed economies, and then that steps down to 60 cents in lesser economies, and in developing economies it's at 40 cents. So we can be quite precise about the cost. That's the cost. That's what the billing system charges. And of course Robert's right. They're getting qualified leads for 60 cents or $1. I mean, it's a very, very powerful marketing system. So
Cheaper than a phone call if you're doing cold
absolutely,
calling.
yeah, absolutely, and it's qualified lead. So it's it's businesses wanting to buy the product or service that I sell. So it's a hot or warm lead. So
Sure.
Very valuable.
Sure.
When we're talking about other benefits, the thing that really, I've been involved in business for the last 40 years, and I've involved in a number of startups during the course of that time. Now, typically, businesses will fail within the first 2 years of being started up, okay? And what happens is you start up your business. You might have a manufacturing business, as I did at one stage. You've got to work out where your marketplace is, and then you've got to work out a way to market within that marketplace. There's a cost involved. Because you're a startup, you don't know exactly where to spend your dollars, what to spend your dollars on, and the rest of that. This system enables a startup on day one to register the products that they're producing and to get them out there in the marketplace and to receive offers from them from day one, which is a huge advantage for startups. I mean, the cost to economies of businesses falling over in the first 2 years of operation is huge, and this is going to cut back that dramatically.
Sure, okay.
Yeah, look, that's so important. That's so important. There's no history of any process being so benign for business starting up. From day one, every business that starts up can compete with the other suppliers in the marketplace. Now, that almost sounds unfair, it's so powerful, but yeah, it is profoundly important, and if we're going to get our economies to grow, then we've got to facilitate new business coming into the economy, and if we're going to get unemployment down and all of the things that politicians have problems with and economies have problems with, it's only going to be because new business come into the economy and create new opportunities and compete in the marketplace, whether the marketplace is their economy or some other economy around the world. So the point that Andrew makes is really profoundly important.
Right.
I could only dream in my business life of having a situation like this where I could compete from day one of operating a business. This is a fantastic thing for every business, and we need to change the culture in all business, in all economies, don't we? Robert and I are serial business owners, so we know exactly what we're talking about here. It's hard starting businesses. You're taking risk with your money and your house and all your savings and all of these things, and so many people fail that so many people don't do it because of the high risks. Well, with this system, we're making it a hell of a lot easier for business to have a go and give them a better chance. And I think Andrew's point's absolutely spot on.
Right.
It's profoundly important.